Hey guys, Cooking with Kim D. Welcome back to the kitchen. So tonight's power tool is the Pampered Chef Quick Cooker. This is another one of the items in our small appliance line, and this thing is a powerhouse, guys. It does so many different things. So let me just go through the functions of it real quick before I show you what I'm doing tonight. So it has a sear, steam, slow cook. Now, a lot of people have asked me about the slow cook function on this. Is it like a slow cooker, like a crock pot? Think of it as a crock pot on high. Unfortunately, you can't get the low temperature. You can only get the high temperature. It does work great, but just keep in mind that it's only the high temperature. In all honesty, I've used it once just to see what it was like. I prefer the quick cooker function of it because I want my stuff done fast, thus quick cooker. You can proof in here, so you can proof bread in here. I've done that before. It works great. You can also use the proof function to make homemade yogurt if that's something that interests you. White rice, brown rice, whole grains, chicken and poultry, beef and pork, fish and seafood, soups and stocks, beans. If you make beans from, dried beans, there's no need to soak them when you use the quick cooker. So it's one less step you have to take in making homemade beans. Stews and chilies and desserts. There is also a custom function, which is what I tend to use the most anyway. So lots of functionality in this. And are you a family household that, you get home from work, you forgot to defrost the chicken, you forgot to defrost the roast? So many times we forget to defrost things. There are ways to cook frozen chicken and get a full meal in, under 40 minutes using the quick cooker, actually in about a half hour. Tonight I have these are bottom round roasts. One is about 1.8 pounds and the other is about 1.7. I'm going to kind of do, a beef roast with I've got some mushroom caps, some portobello mushroom caps. I've got some baby potatoes. I've got some carrots and I've got some onions. I'm not really following a recipe. I've used this enough, and that's what happens when you start using these things regularly. You know what I mean? You kind of have a feel of what they do. So I've also got a cup of red wine and a cup of beef stock. And then for my seasoning, I had some urban onion left over from my taste bud subscription from 1 month. So I said, you know what? I'm going to add some urban onion to the beef stock. I also sprinkled it on top of my roasts. I put some olive oil inside of the quick cooker. I put it on sear, and I seared each side of the meat for a few minutes each, just to kind of lock in the juices. And let me see if I can do this. If you can see all that down the bottom of the pan? That's called fond. And there is so much flavor in fond. That's what makes really good sauces and gravies and whatnot. Gives it that depth of flavor. So I left all of that on the bottom, and now I want to deglaze the pan. So I have and I should probably have this on sear. I'm going to give that 1 more minute just to get up to temp a little bit before I add my liquids. You want at least a cup of water or some form of liquid in your quick cooker before you start cooking with it. If you do not have enough liquid, it will not get up to pressure. So if you have a quick cooker, if you get the quick cooker and you experience that it's not coming up to pressure, it could very well be that you don't have enough liquid in there. So something to keep in mind. I unfortunately did that when I first started using my quick cooker. All right, that is probably getting up there. I just have one of my bamboo tools here that I am going to use to scrape off all of those bits that are on the bottom. Because again, all that fond, all those bits, that's where the flavor is. All right, so I've got give that a mix. I'm going to give this 1 more minute to get a little bit more, a little hotter. It's starting to come off nicely, but sorry, at this point I cannot tip it over because I don't want to spill or anything. A couple of things while this is coming up a little bit more. This unit, unlike some quick cookers on the market, this is cool to the touch. The inside of this is burning hot right now, but the outside is totally cool to the touch. Great safety feature if you have little kids in the house, or if you're just like entertaining or whatnot. You don't want anybody, brushing up against this and hurting themselves. Also, another safety feature that I love is this is where your steam will release. This is the button you press to release the steam. As you can see, they are nowhere near. When I press this button, my finger is going to be nowhere near that steam. I had another pressure cooker previously to this one, and I cannot tell you how many times I had a steam burn from releasing the steam, and it's just too close. So another great safety feature of this. There is a little red button right here. This will pop up once it gets to pressure, and until the pressure is released, it will stay up. So you can't even try to unlock this before the pressure is fully released. A couple of things about that you learn when you start using a quick cooker. Things that like chicken and vegetables, soup, stews, stuff like that. Nothing that has tough meats in it. Those you can do what's called a quick release. A quick release is when the cooking time has stopped. You can immediately press this button to release the steam. Now, with something like this, big cuts of meats, ribs, brisket, things like that that are typically pretty tough that you want to tenderize, that's when you do a natural release. Meaning, once the cooking time is over, I'm not going to touch this steam release button. Instead, I'm going to let it naturally go down on its own until this button has gone down. That is going to give you the most tender meat inside of your quick cooker. And guys, when you buy a Pampered Chef product from me, I come with your Pampered Chef product. I am here to answer questions. If you don't understand how to use it, you give me a call, you send me a text, Kim, what am I doing wrong? And I will help you through it. So yes, I am here to help you once you get your new products. All right, so I added in the red wine. If you don't want to use wine, if you prefer not to use any alcohol in your cooking, that is fine. It is going to cook off, but if you didn't want to use wine, just use another cup of the beef stock. All right, so all of those bits, oh my gosh, it smells so good. All right, I'm going to put my meat in here now. These are our pasta tongs. These have become my favorite tongs that we sell. I know they're meant for pasta, but because of these little rivets in, it makes it great for picking stuff up. I really like them. So I'm just putting my meat inside of here. And then I'm gonna start with my carrots. They're gonna go down first. So these are our coating trays, and I use them just for prep work a lot of times. I was washing and cutting and everything, so I just put them in here. So I'm gonna start with my carrots. I'm gonna get those down first. And then, actually I'm gonna put my onions down next. So I just got a couple of onions here that I quartered. I think I have 4 very thick carrots that I cut into 2-inch pieces. Next will be some potatoes. And then to top it off, some baby bella mushrooms. All right, this is just gonna fit. I've got everything in there. Press it towards me. All right. So everything is on correctly. I'm gonna hit custom. I'm gonna hit custom, and then I'm gonna go over here for my time. I'm going to put that up to 55 minutes and hit start. That's it. So I'm going to set it and forget it, in the words of another product out there on the market. And then, like I said, when this beeps, I'm going to let it naturally release, and then everything inside will be, it's going to be fork tender. the gravy. I can use the gravy as is, as what's inside of here. So again, the beef broth and the red wine and some of the herb and onion seasoning. But if I have a lot of juice down there, I may take the immersion blender. So this is the immersion blender portion of our Flex Plus Quick Prep. I may take all of my veggies and my meat out of here, and then if I want to thicken it up, I can add a little bit of cornstarch mixed with some cold water, just a tiny bit, add it to it, make a slurry, and then use the immersion blender to make a really nice gravy right inside the pot. So again, this is our quick cooker. If you have any questions, please reach out. I would love to, tell you some more benefits if you have any questions about this. It's a great product to have as we're going, especially as we're going into the cooler season. Soups and stews. I make a chicken fajita soup that takes maybe 25 minutes, and I used to put it in a crock pot for about 6 hours. I've done a chili in here that takes no time. Soups and stews, if that's something you do a lot of, especially in the colder months, this is a great product to have. Ribs, the ribs alone that we make in this is worth the price of this product. We can do two full racks of baby back ribs, and you do a can of like Dr. Pepper or whatever kind of soda that you want. Put it in here, put some seasoning on it. I have a dry rub seasoning that I put on it. They go in here, I forget for how long, but in less than an hour, I have 2 full racks of baby back ribs. I want to say they take about a half hour, 45 minutes in here. And then I just put them under the broiler for a couple of minutes with some barbecue sauce on them, and they are amazing. So for the ribs alone, and I'll post that recipe in the recipe drop tonight. For the ribs alone, this thing is totally worth it. Great for football Sundays. So any questions, guys, please reach out, and have a great evening. We'll talk to you later.